And hello my brave knights, princesses and princesses and gathered friends, and welcome to my review of the Quest 2. I got this thing about a month ago in November, and I'm making a review now because already I've seen other people buying a Quest 2 at this time of year, or receiving one, and I felt like giving my 2 cents on it and why it's both a great thing and it has its problems, yes. However, overall, it does its job. Now, the Quest is kind of like getting a new PC where you get if you get the PC and you plug it in, it's really nothing if you don't have a monitor, a mouse, a keyboard, and some headphones. That's kind of how getting a Quest is like. Only the Quest comes with its own headphones, its own microphone, its own computer rendering thing. However, by itself, the Quest 2 is both a fun thing and severely uncomfortable. Now, as you saw in my unboxing video when I unboxed this thing in the first place, the Quest 2 came with the head strap it originally came with. This thing is very uncomfortable, and for you new people that get the strap, the way you loosen it and tighten it, you see these two knobs here. These two knobs. What you do is you have to pull out this, like this, put 2 fingers into the middle, and you have to pull it out like that. And then you just pull like that, and it will loosen it or tighten it, which you prefer. I would tell you that on the spot you should get a different Quest head strap, because this thing by itself is not fun at all. The other thing that happened when I unboxed the Quest, for the longest time, and I'm going to show you this because I'm holding the faceplate right now. I played for a little bit. I just played with the faceplate by itself. This is the original faceplate right here, and I have a different one on it now. I didn't know that this silicone thing, they actually give you one, which is pretty nice. You had to put this thing on it, but you do. And it's actually very easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to get this thing off, because I actually watched a person on Twitch struggling with this, so I'm going to show you how to take this thing off. So that means we have to get my Quest, which is right next to me. Here it is, right here. Here's my Quest. It has the Kiwi head strap thing, along with a face plate thing by a company. They're called NVVR. The face plate off, the first thing you need to do is make sure that this thing is, say if you have the Quest strap, make sure you move it up like this. Now what you want to do is you want to put your thumb here, right here, and your other thumb right here. What's going to happen is this is going to pop up like this, and then when it's going to be a little scary at first. Trust me, I was scared too when I first did it. And then we're going to turn this around. Here, you're going to pop this up and this up here. It's going to take a small bit of effort to do it, but it can be done. I'm going to show you. So, as I showed you with popping up of the front of the nose ones, it pops up. I show you. Pops up like this, like that, and then front ones here. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to put your 2 thumbs, one here and one here on both sides of where the strap is, and you're just going to give a little push, and it comes right off like that. Now, it's going to shock you when it does that, because all of a sudden, it comes off like that. It's so easy to do, and I have dust everywhere on here, this thing. That comes out pretty easily. So after you do that, you can easily put the silicone thing on. I'm going to get back out. So here it is right here. You can put it on pretty easily, so you kind of have to finagle it a little bit. This thing's already been shaped to it, because so for your first time people, you're gonna have to struggle a little bit to put it on. But if what you do is, I would recommend you starting from the top, where the thickest area is, and you just work your way slowly but surely around, and slowly but surely it will align. It will take a little bit, but it will slowly align to it, and it just snaps on pretty well. I'm doing it horribly because I haven't done it in a while, but when I was first originally doing it, it was pretty interesting. But it all should come on pretty easily. Now, the thing about this thing, for some weird, awkward reason, is that sometimes it will bump up. You see the little bumps here? See that? Right here? It doesn't flatten immediately, it just comes up. So Sometimes you have to mess with it a little bit more to get it to behave itself. Works for what it's worth. It isn't as comfortable as, say, what I have now, but it isn't terrible. And then once you're done, it just goes back on. Just you put it on, it goes back on just as easily. Put it on like this. Okay, so this is it. You turn it like this, so where it's facing the Quest like this, and you just snap it on like that, and it'll snap on. It'll make a snap-on noise, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Pretty easy. Now, you'll probably also want to know how to put on, say, if you got a Kiwi strap, or if you wanted to spend a little bit more, you get a Boba VR one, or any of the others. Now, if you were to ask me what is the best, I don't know. It depends on your preference. It depends on what you want. I personally looked around and looked at different people, and everyone was saying do this or do that or the other thing. No one really gave a straight answer, so it was kind of frustrating, to be fair. Yeah, it was which one works. So now I'm going to show you how to get this thing off the strap. So here it is. Oh, there's already dirt on this thing. I just cleaned this thing off, but this thing's a dirt magnet. Believe it or not, when I first got this thing, I showed it on my stream. On my video. When I first time I unboxed it, there was a black smudge on it. It's gone now because I cleaned it off, but somebody got a little smudge on it already. The way you get this on is you first have to snap off the original, which you do. This actually can come out. This comes out. They both do. And what you do is you just have to kind of finagle it a little bit. I don't want to do it because I've already done it, but it will snap off if you mess with it a little bit. It won't break anything. It should come off. This tutorial again is for those that are first starting VRs. So again, even though I've done this, I am still bundled of nerves because, you know, when I first did it, I was a nervous wreck, and now I'm here doing it again for a video. But yeah, you basically have to pull these, and it like right here, and it snaps out, and they almost snap out, and then it comes off, and then you snap these on. It should click on quite nicely, and then you stick the strap thing through. Hit this little hole here, and there you go. That's how you do all that. So now I'm going to show you how to set up. There's a way to do it. There's a way to also Chromecast, but if you're like me, most of the games you play are on PC. You can easily screen capture your games via OBS by doing that. However, don't want to do that. If you want to find a way to if you don't want to go through the method I'm doing, or I'm going to show you, because there's a way to cast your game by using Google Chrome. And then I'm basically going to show you through that how to set up a Twitch chat. And after that, that'll be it. And then I'm going to show you how to clean your controllers and the best thing to get for cleaning them and your lenses. So we'll get to that. Also, before we start this, I also want to recommend you get a PC VR cable. The one I am currently using is a chaff down link cable. It's only like $8 right now on Amazon. There are a bunch of cables you could use, but this is the one I'm using. So if you want to know the one I'm using, that's the one. Right. I am now in my Quest. It's going to look a little funny to all of you, because it's going to look funny. The way you do it, we're using Chrome because that's the only way you can cast. You usually cast through Chrome. What you do, okay, let's say that you just begin, you start here. This is basically what you would see if you first started, or something to that effect. What you do, if you want to cast, is you go over to people. Once you set, basically you type into Chrome, Oculus cast, you type in Oculus cast, and then you find casting. It'll be a little website, and then you press people here, right here. And then, not people. You go to camera, and you'll see these three. Take photo for video, then find casting, and boom, you'll be casting. So now, as you press, what you do once you plugged yourself in is you see this little menu. You don't want to use AeroLink, just use your PC USB link. It's much easier. You press that, and then we're going to be loading a little bit. And now we're here in this menu. This is your PC VR menu. Now what you want to do, the guy who I took this from said that you need to use Chrome. However, you can either use Chrome or Firefox. It doesn't matter which, honestly. Hi, this is a future me. So past me did a lot of work recording all of that, and it turns out that none of the showing of how to set up the Twitch chat showed at all. So you want to open it via Quest link, via connected to the PC, and press launch. Now you're going to wait, and then this menu is going to open up. Make sure we're actually recording here. Come on, dumb thing, you can do it. You can do it. So here, you want to move this bar. You want to press this plus, and then you'll see different things. This is your desktop stuff, and what you want to do is you either can open Chrome or you can open Firefox. Personally, it doesn't matter which one you open when it comes down to, you know, your Twitch chat. They're both going to work just the same. The guy I got this off of said to use Firefox, but to use Chrome. I'm using Firefox because that's what I use. It's just easier, so we're gonna open Firefox. So now Firefox is open, and you guys can hopefully see Firefox. Yep, there it is. I don't know why it looks so weird and awful, but what we can do with it. So with Firefox open. Right, so I don't know what take this is, but this time I'm hoping you guys can see. Right, so you're in your... You're here. This is where the menu would open if you have your PC VR connected to your PC. What you do, you press the plus button. You can be either Chrome or Firefox that you open your Twitch, and you'll see your chat right here. Now your chat, you can pop out by pressing the gear icon, and you'll find pop out Twitch chat. You pop it out, and then you'll have to get rid of this by again pressing this again. And then you should drag your chat via this trigger button right here over to like here or somewhere where it's not in the way. And then you press this little pin button and it'll stay there. And basically it will stay there no matter what game you're playing. However, if there are a few times I have found where if you press the menu button to check the menu and then you go back in, sometimes it'll disappear. In which case you just have to repin it again. It'll be here when you press the menu button. It'll show up if you press Firefox and just repin it, and then it won't go anywhere. So that's how you set up your Twitch chat. Now, you'll want to know how to clean this thing. What's the best thing to do about cleaning this thing, and how to keep it, you know, from getting all dirty like it is for me. I'm unplugging this. Well, I would recommend a little handy dandy thing that I bought very recently that actually has helped out a lot. I would recommend this little cleaning kit right here. This little cleaning kit right here. It's not expensive at all, actually. It's pretty cheap. It comes with a bunch of stuff, but the thing that I want to highlight the most out of all of it is this little tool right here. This is your Oculus lens tool. That's what it looks like. What you want to do with this is you want to start on the outside of the lens. So, you see the lens? You want to start on the outside of the lens and work your way in. Just kind of do this in circular motions, and it will make an improvement on the lenses, especially if they're fogging up. And that is a problem you're going to run into, and it's a problem I've been running into. The lenses do fog up, but because you will get hot, trust me. However, Boa VR has solved this problem by providing fans that you can hook onto your VR, on the top of your VR. That being right here, up here, and it basically blows air, and it helps out a lot. So, now, the face mask I have also has a nose guard that blocks out light. It helps with immersion, because immersion is a thing. Now, the other problem you're likely going to run into when you get a VR headset, I'm going to tell you how that it's actually very easy to fix. Now that we're wrapping up here, are the controls. Now these Quest controls are pretty wonderful. They are. Now, here's a little tip from me to you on how to solve one problem, and that is the stick drift. So, you have your stick thing here. Sometimes in VR, you will be playing VR, you'll be having a fun time, and one day, out of nowhere, your character will just kind of will stop moving forward and start moving backwards. There are different ways to fix this. However, the way I've discovered that works the best out of all of it is if you have a straw. It doesn't need to be a big straw. It can be a straw you find at Starbucks or something. It just needs to be a straw. You stick it as close as you can to the edge of the ball of the controller thing, and you just blow into it. You blow air into it, and it will about 95% of the time solve the problem. Now, if that does not solve the problem, then you can take out the batteries. And taking out the batteries is very easy. They even have a little sticker that marks downwards. What you do is you put your thumb on it, you just pull, and it comes out very easily. They take AA's. You can use any AA's, really. But when it comes down to it, that basically will solve the problem. But if that doesn't, then I would recommend you get WD-40, not the oiling one, but the electric one. And then you just spray a little bit in there, and you just wiggle this thing in circles for a little while. And people say that fixes it. So yeah, what games would I recommend you playing on the Quest 2? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. But if you want a fantastic game to play, I would recommend Half-Life Alyx, obviously. It comes with all sorts of mods, including BioShock, which, if that doesn't incentivize you to go and play, I don't know what would. Another game I would recommend you playing would be Resist. Resist is a fun little game. I've done a review on it. It's fun. Phasmophobia is fun. I've not played Forewarned yet, but Phasmophobia is definitely very fun. Rec Room is very fun when you have friends to play it with. Boneworks would be another one I would recommend. You can play Dying Light in VR. You can play Halo in VR via a different game called Contractors. It comes with a bunch of mods, including Star Wars. Blade and Sorcery is fun, especially with lightsabers. Serious Sam is in VR. Doom is in VR. Beat Saber, of course. Really, you can play any VR game on this thing. I've played a bunch of different VR games, including Oculus only ones, but for some weird reason they actually work on here. If you just have to kind of mess with it a little bit. Currently, we're playing through Arctica, and I'll be doing a review on that game probably next year when the new year is here and I play through it some more. So, you go to Devices, go here, do this. Also, you can set your audio to play on your headphones. The way you do it is you just set it to this. Now, yes, when you do plug in your Quest for the first time, one thing that does happen is it does mute these, and it'll instead use the Quest sound instead. You can just set it back to this, and that'll fix it. The same thing with the mic. You can use your own mic instead of the Quest's mic. But this is probably what you're more concerned about is the graphics print, for instance. Now, I have it set to 90 hertz on automatic because I've done a lot of trial and error. I was trying out 120 hertz, all the other hertzes, but the one that seems to be the one that is just fine and seems to work the best for me is 90 hertz. I have a 2070 with an i7 10th gen, so my laptop basically can take it and dish it back, as it were. That's the whole reason I bought this thing. So I would say just kind of there's no real way to tell you, and other people will tell you different things, but I'm here to tell you there's no real, like, do this and this will work, do that and this will work. Everyone has different things. I would say just mess with it for a little while until you find a happy medium where everything looks the way you want it to and runs the way you want it to. You are going to likely need a little bit of a beefy PC to play with your VR if you're doing PC VR. But if you're just playing with the VR as it is, it runs games just fine by itself. Although with Hubris, even though Hubris requires you to have a 2070, it kind of choked a little bit on it, so I can't say for certain how well it would last. But it does come with its own charging cable. It does come with its own charging cable too. I bought a charging station thinking it didn't come with a charging cable. I don't know why. What possessed me to think that? Probably anxiety. But that's my review for the Quest 2. It's a fun thing. It works. It does what it's supposed to do. However, I do personally think that it should not be so difficult to, to set up the graphics the way you want it to, and to have the comfort the way you want it to, because it is difficult to decide what different ones to get, or what would be good to get. I'm here to tell you, it's up to you, really, what you want. But if you want my setup, if you want, if you want these things, if you want the Kiwi and the face strap thing, I can leave them in the description along with the nano cleaner. Hopefully it helps you. Hopefully this tutorial helps you. With that said, leave a like and subscribe because there's always room for more. See you in the next video.